The views and opinions expressed by the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC, are those of the podcasters and do not necessarily reflect the official policy, position, ideologies, or standards of any school district in any county in the United States. Any content provided by our podcasters, guests, and callers are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, institutions affiliated with the local government, individuals, or anyone or anything. The podcasts and all affiliated with the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC, are used for entertainment purposes only.
Now we had a good time that we can say we hurt each other, and boy, it's a shame. I won't be foolish, no. I wanna make sure I'm right. You know I thank God sun rises and shines on you. You know there's nothing I would not do. Before I let you go. I did the damn thing. You did Diana, singing and dancing all in the rain. Ooh, I just wanna have a good time. Turn around inside, turn that to the right.
All right, y'all.
We here.
We are here. So, we did a thing. We did a little thing. We are the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
Say that again.
We are the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
One more time, I couldn't hear you.
We are the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
All right.
And we in here. We introduce these lovely ladies. To my right, we have... Go ahead and tell me you are. Don't be shy.
Oh, Miss Rose, Nikki. That's not
Miss Nikki. And then across from me, we got...
We going by last names? We going by first names? What are we doing?
What you want to call you back?
Well, you know, in the teacher world, everybody know me as Miss A, formerly. First name Ty, Tyisha, Ty for short.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm Joya Carter.
Miss Carter.
Miss J. Carter. We got all the Carters. And we're here.
Miss Rose, Miss Carter, and Miss A.
Yeah.
We're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So let's talk. Let's get into our purpose. So
yeah,
we started out together. Came to the school, kind of vibed into a relationship.
Yeah.
And here we are. We want to tell our story. We want to be the voice for the teachers. A voice that sometimes don't get recognized.
Absolutely.
And so, or a lot of people are afraid to, speak up. So we are the faces, and we are the voices for the ones that are not speaking up. We know what you're going through.
Oh, that
Yes.
part. That part.
Yes, we do.
I like that.
There are a lot of untold stories in the school system. And so here we are.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of like the, what's the guy with the black face? Not the black face, but he's like, what is it called, y'all? Like he's a whistleblower.
Kanye?
No! Not this time. I mean, some people in the school world could say we are vocal like Kanye, and that's fine.
That's okay with it.
But we're the
I know.
whistleblowers.
Yes, we are.
We tell the truth. Yes,
Let's just say that.
We're
we
gonna
tell the truth.
Yep. So we're
Yeah.
just gonna make sure that we want to share it, and then we want to talk about ways that we think we can fix it, or ways that could be fixed, and try to bring some joy and fun to it at the same time. You know, let our little personalities shine through.
Yeah,
Because we are a unique bunch.
We're teachers, and we want to be heard, basically.
Yes.
We want to be heard.
We try to know the facts, the real facts.
yeah. 'Cause there are a lot of teachers that go through a lot of different things and they don't want to talk about it. They literally suffer in silence, and so
Yes.
we've taken it upon ourselves to, like Ty said, give them a voice.
Yeah.
And to really talk about some of the real hard issues because they're suffering. You know, teachers are the teachers of the world. You know, we are responsible for the doctors and the lawyers, the football players, the basketball players, and all of that. So
Right.
we
And-
teach them.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that are going on in the, right now in the education field.
Absolutely.
You hear things every day.
Yes.
We see things every day.
Oh, yeah.
We have real experiences
Yes.
every day.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, and it's enough to be talked about.
Yeah.
Because when people see educators,
Yep.
I think they have a different outlook or think we don't supposed to have a life outside of education.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put on this, I wouldn't say facade, but they've created what they think the teachers should look like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more, as you would like to say, it's more pieces to the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And the things you don't see, that's it. Like I've seen it described. I think the best way I've heard education described right now is it's like a dumpster fire going downstream.
Wait, it's like a what?
It's a dumpster fire. Just
Like rolling down.
floating. Just floating.
I've never heard of that.
with no aim.
Jesus
And
Christ.
or the whole analogy, I've always hated this one, building the plane as we fly it. Like
Mm.
why is that your analogy to be like you can do it? It's not, and I think the messaging is always smile while everything fails around you. Like,
Right.
why
That's
am I
that
doing
suffering
that?
in silence part.
Yes, constantly.
It definitely doesn't have to be that way.
It does not. And that's what we're here for. We're going to tell you the truth about
Yeah.
it. So no more suffering in silence. No more the gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just putting it out there so people really understand. So the general public, people who are outside of education, those considering education, I feel like when you know what you're walking into, you can make a good choice. And it might be for you. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but know what you're walking into. Understand it, be the realities of it before. I sure wish I had known.
Well, not to say, because I love being educated.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's pros and cons to every, career.
Absolutely.
But like I said, like Joya said, people are suffering. Teachers are suffering in silence. And it's just time that, a lot of things get communicated in the education field.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that says it. That's our mission. What about?
And I think if we can get better teachers, we can get better kids in society because they're going to eventually grow up to be adults.
Yep. The thing is
Yeah.
always. Well, I think one thing we all know is that teachers build every profession. Everything that's done, period, started with someone in a classroom, and we're kind of the ones that help boost that imagination and provide that confidence. And sometimes we're the only person who believes in our students. And we see that so many times. We've had plenty of students, I know we were talking about one earlier, where being the person in that classroom, probably I was the only person maybe in that child's life that was saying like, I got you, like what do you need? Let me know, I'm here. He's going home, he's by himself, right?
Like somebody actually cares about you.
Yes, there's at least one, no matter what. And I'm here, and I mean it, right? And you have to remember that. And I feel like people forget really quickly that we're the beginning.
Well, we are everything. I don't, a lot of people don't know inside that classroom we have to be a nurse, we have to be a doctor, we're sometimes a counselor, we're sometimes a beautician.
Yes.
It's a lot of things
Yes.
that goes within that classroom, and we, being a part of this podcast, we get to unravel all of that.
Yes.
Ladies, let's take a quick break, and when we get back, I have a question for y'all, okay?
All right.
All right, so we're just going to wrap up for a minute. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like that.
hey. I'm out of here.
In the mix, DJ Rex. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? I don't need permission, make my own decisions. That's my prerogative. They say I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I don't give a damn. Giving them just how I feel. Some nasty questions. Why am I so real? But they don't understand me. Or really don't know the deal about my brother. Trying hard to make it right. Not long ago, before I win this fight, so everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? Tell me why I don't need permission, make my own decisions. That's my prerogative. It's my prerogative.
We back.
Girl.
It's our prerogative to tell the truth. For real.
Baby,
That's right.
That's the type.
It's our
Talk
prerogative.
about that cohort.
We're going to talk about the cohort.
I do have one quick question for you,
All
ladies,
right.
so since you're all
Okay.
teachers. How important is it for parents to have an input of what's going on in school?
100%. It starts at
And I
home.
totally understand that, but I don't think that all parents understand, and that's why I'm asking the question.
It's very important for parents to have an input. It literally starts at the home because we can only do so much at the school. So by the time we finish instilling all these values and disciplining children, it unravels when it gets to the house. So if there is no strong family unit, even if it's a single mother, if you're not present, you're done. You're done before you walk into the school.
Yep. I think take it bigger, right? We talk about having community and the parents being there. So I feel like part of it is the whole community has to understand that that's important and be behind parents being there and support that, right? Because there are schools that don't want parents inside the building. So just having a parent the parent can be, I support education all day, but if they don't show up to the programs, they don't communicate with the teacher, if they're not, we're not seeing them in the community when the kids are doing stuff, then where are you? That's part of it too, right? That's what I think.
So I'm a little old school, just to piggyback what Rose said, a community, but I call it a village. It takes a village to raise children. And like Joy had spoke on the reinforcement piece. What we do in the school system, whether it's positive, everything, we try to push positive, but if we're pushing out something positive, or we're pushing out, like a discipline correction or what have you, we need the parents to be on board, because at the end of the day, even when we, at the beginning of school, we state that we can't do this without parents, that we're all, it's a village, we're all doing this together to support that student. So in order to help that student be successful, it takes a village. So that's where I'm at with it. So to wrap it up, parents are very important.
Yep.
And they can change a situation to be negative or positive.
What about involvement, like communicating with teachers, like build that relationship, right? So I think that parents and teachers, we have to be in unison. I've talked in my classroom before about the success of a child being like a pie, and there's 3 sections, right? And each one is 33% of that child's success, and one of them is the student, one of them is the teacher, and one of them is the parent, right? And their community, whatever's behind that child at home. And if you know, right, when you're adding all those up, the only way I'm going to get 100% is if all of those are working together. If one piece doesn't work, that child is failing, whether it's academically or whether it's in life. So when you're looking at that pie, and I'm like, okay, so if I suck as a teacher and I'm not putting into that child, I failed them. But if I'm giving my 33.3%, as I tell my kids, right, and your parents are giving their 33.3%, but you don't, you failed too. But if their parents, the part that they can't control and I can't control, aren't there, then the parent and everything outside of that home or outside of school is failing that child. But no child is successful without all 3 parts.
I do have one more question for you. What do y'all think about the statement, no child left behind?
Trash.
So the note
Scamming.
child is every child. That statement came out, I believe, when I was in, oh God, I can't remember, but I did come through that.
It's a promotional piece, Joy.
And that's exactly what it is. Because school is, they're not trying to educate leaders. They're not trying to educate independent thinkers. They're trying to educate people who are sheep. And it's fine. Everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. But you have to be a thinking person. Do you know how to balance your finances, a checkbook? Do you know how to grow a garden? Do you understand how your body works? And I'm not talking about, because I do life science, so I'm not talking about categorizing animals. Do you know what to do if your heart is not pumping blood throughout its capillaries? Do you know what to do if your reproductive system isn't functioning properly? They don't teach that at school because they don't want kids to know it. It's criminal and it's insane. So for me, I have to close my door and actually go, because this is truth, right? I have to now go around and say, okay, hey guys, this is what you can do. This is what Gatorade really is. Can you say Gatorade?
Yep.
Sugar water. This is what sugary drinks. This is what too much drink. Sugary drinks can do to your body. This is what chips can do to your body. That's not in the AKS. And as an instructor, it's my job to tell you the truth.
Yep.
So it's criminal.
Good teachers tell the truth. Yeah.
No, what was the statement?
No child left behind. Ugh.
Scamming, as I said before. Because I'm a language arts teacher. And it's a lot of students that cannot read. So I don't know how they pushing in to read something technical.
Hold on,
such
tell them
as
what grade you
science.
teach, and they can't read.
I'm a 6th grade teacher.
We talking middle school.
At this time, I'm a 6th grade teacher.
Today.
No, actually, I teach 7th and 8th grade now too because my position changed. So I teach 6th through 8th grade. And there are challenges in writing and reading, and that's a big deal because you have to be able to write and read. You just have to. I mean, everything around us is verbiage. So kids have to know how to, articulate, how to, like the things that Joy said and Rose said, how to be out here, count money. I teach an effective skills class and I do these things with them, how to, to react socially. Because if you look at today's, what's going on with young people, they don't have any conflict resolution. That's why you see a lot of gun violence.
Yes.
And another thing for is money. I went over with some of my students, they didn't know what a checking account looks like. And that's important. Credit. These are things that I didn't learn in school. These are things that my my mother failed to teach me. So I'm pouring in to my students things that I've talked with my daughter about credit. That's important. These are things you need to know.
Yes.
So you don't get, because
Yep.
our population is brown and black.
Yep.
And so they don't know that, credit can kind of put us up, because we're already behind.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
You start with a
So
negative
we
100,
need
right.
to have these simple fundamentals.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah,
Nikki,
true. I think
close it out for us, girl.
with being a math teacher, right? They
Yeah.
come to me, and I remember I had a year the student couldn't spell his name, and I was blown. Can't multiply, struggling to multiply things that we knew how to do coming up, right? And when you go back, we always talk about how for math it's a building skill, right? But if you can't multiply 2 times 2, I can't expect you to be able to, apply the Pythagorean theorem, right? I can't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. But I'm just saying, these are things I teach. I can't expect you to understand, statistical, displays and how to read these different graphs if you don't know what's there. And so I'm having to go back and teach things that are really like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade content in the 6th grade, and it's different when it's 1 or 2 kids. It's a whole thing. You realize the reality of how huge the problem is when it's all the kids don't know, and you're having to teach content that you're like, what in the world happened?
And that's the thing, like Joy was saying about life science, like things kids need to really learn. And my thing that you saying all these big names with math, because you know how I feel about math. Do our kids really need a lot of stuff that
Sure.
I'm not, saying kids don't need to learn certain things, but I think there is a place for you to be teaching finance and
Absolutely.
budgeting.
Well, finance was moved to social studies.
What grade? Because again, I teach it.
All right.
She forgot that part.
You talking about the economics of Georgia when
That's your finances.
they went westward? I'm trying to see
Lord have
when
mercy.
the finance where,
That's what they said in the
because I haven't
AS.
touched on it.
Well, that's what they
That's
said.
how it is. All right, y'all. But we can't give people too much. Where
I
can
know.
they find us?
Ooh, everywhere at Real Teachers of ATL.
The real teachers.
No,
Spell
not
for the
the
what?
Real
except for
Teachers of
Real
on Instagram. I'll do Instagram. The Real Teachers of Atlanta is on Instagram.
TikTok is Real Teachers of ATL.
Yeah.
Facebook is The Real Teachers
On
of Atlanta.
Facebook.
YouTube, The Real Teachers of ATL. And our website, www.realteachersofatlanta.com. I like the way that sounds.
This was nice.
It's our website.
I want everybody to look out for them. This is going to be the hottest show out because it gives a different perspective from everyone else. It's teachers telling it all. All right, so y'all make sure y'all keep it live.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode.